We don't get a lot of news at Sravasti Abbey. Some people are more in tune to it, but for a few years we've been getting Time magazine once a week as our principal news source, which is, okay, so it's a narrow view. But we got, this week, this cover has really intrigued me. It's the 100 most influential people in the world issue. 100, so on the cover, first of all, we have Beyonce, who doesn't have very many clothes on. Multiple Grammy Award winner. One of the most influential people in the world this year. This is Robert Redford. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. Robert Redford, one of the most influential people in the world this year. Not for his acting, they didn't pick him for that, but because of the Sundance Film Festival, and this is the 30-year anniversary, and he's had such an influence on independent films over the last 30 years. This person is, I forgot her name, Mary Barra, who is the first woman CEO of a major automotive company. She's the new CEO of GM. Bless her heart. And then this person is Jason Collins, who plays basketball for the, what's the new team? The something Nets, but they're not New York anymore. They're like Bronx, or I'll have to look it up. Brooklyn, sorry. The Brooklyn Nets, but he's famous for having come out as the first major sports team player, male, still playing on one of the major professional for sports in the United States as gay. So this has had a big influence on. And then, so there's like 96 other people in here. I have to confess, 90% of them, I have no clue who they are. And that's no fault of theirs. It's because I've been kind of out of things for a while. But, so they're artists, lots of entertainers. There are, that's Vanessa or Serena. Yeah, it's Serena. You know, lots of athletes, lots of politicians, world leaders. There's, Barack Obama is in here way buried in the back. Hillary Clinton's buried way in the back. Janet Yellen, who's the new head of the Federal Reserve Board. I mean, that's significant. But I just keep thinking about the 100 most influential people in the world and how human beings spend their time. I think about this a lot, actually. How it is that we can, there's a zillion and one things a person can do with their life. There's an astronomer in here. I don't know why he's the most influential. I didn't read the article, but so the thing, maybe because of the thing of 100, one of the things that comes to mind immediately is this slogan you hear around Buddhist circles sometimes: 100 years, all new people. Right? In 100 years, not a single person alive, or maybe 7, on the planet today will be alive. How influential will these people be in 100 years? How much influence does our efforts have over the course of time in an external way, you know? So, you know, stars rise, stars fall, and I don't know any of these people, as I said. I don't even know of most of these people. So I'm not commenting on them personally at all. But, and I have no idea what their motivations are for doing what they're doing. And for sure, there's doing good work. There is a nun in here from Uganda who's been doing amazing work with women and girls who have been traumatized by rape, sexual violence, and violence in general in that country. Pope Francis is in here too. His Holiness the Dalai Lama is notably not. But you know, you can be a good-hearted astronomer with a wish, or a good-hearted entertainer with a wish that your efforts bring benefit to the planet. And you can be ruthless and step over everybody on your way trying to make your way to the cover of Time magazine. It's not what we do. It's what we, it's the motivation. And how we spend our time really does matter. You know, things come, things go. And most of us, not just these 100, but everybody here too, you know, we're so vulnerable to being driven by our desire for praise, our desire for fame, to be on the cover of the magazine, or to just be, you know, we talked about this weekend, just to have people speak well of us in our neighborhood. We're driven by that. We're driven by our drive for sense pleasures. We're driven by our drive for material gain. The 8 worldly concerns pursue all of us. So what do we do each day that's of value? You know, what do we do each day that's really going to last? How much will any of this influence be in a year? I mean, who's going to be on the list of 100 next year, even? Or 10 years, or for sure in 100 years? Wow. That's something to think about. What's my influence in 100 years? Well, that's something to think about too. So I found this quote. A straight back will stoop. A black beard will turn white. A fair face will wither. A full eye will wax hollow. But a good heart is the sun and the moon. Or rather, the sun and not the moon. For it shines bright and never changes, but keeps its course truly. So a good heart shines bright and never changes, but keeps its course truly. Guess who said that? William Shakespeare, Henry V. He's probably on some list of the 100 most influential people, and his influence has been around, I'd say, close to 600 years now we're looking, right? Did he have a good heart? I have no idea. We'll never know. But our good heart goes on. I mean, to think about that's what goes on in our lives, that's what will go on in the lives of these 100 most influential people. And when you can't do your job anymore, when you can't hit a tennis ball anymore, you know, when you can't lead in government anymore, when you can't add a column of figures anymore, what's left? Right? So it seems like that's the thing that goes on. And I'm impressed that William Shakespeare said that. Whether he lived it, who knows. But yeah, so the shining heart, the shining light of our good heart is the thing about developing every day. So I don't know, there's something about reducing everything to that. And then however you lead the Fed, however you lead the Citibank, however you lead the tennis team, whatever you do, if that's the guiding light, then it can only be a benefit, right? So anyway, I wish them all well. I hope that their influence is beneficial. There's a terrorist in here. I think there are a couple of communist leaders in here too because of their influence. So may they also be motivated by their good hearts. But for sure, may we take that too.